Well, let me tell you something. I'm that perfect stranger who doesn't like to bother people. I'm thinking I wouldn't like to bother people even when I die. That's the right thing to do, in my opinion. But remember, I'm a perfect stranger, right? But I'm thinking about things that happen when you die. And there are many things that happen, at least here in Mexico, that I just don't understand. For example, they have a celebration, a religious celebration, a mass. I'm talking about a Catholic religion, and they have a mass where they are, well, praying and asking for your forgiveness. And after that ceremony ends, they will take you to the cemetery, right? But guess what? They'll do it walking. Yes, walking. They use some of the streets and they are walking on that street, and the cars cannot pass. They cannot circulate. But, well, I'm a little bit ahead of other things that happen. Let's go before this. You die, and we have here what they call the velorio, which I guess in English is called the wake. It's about all the night being there in a group with all the family and friends and people who somehow loved the dead person, and they stand the whole night and they pray and I guess they try to fix in that night everything he did wrong in his life. That's the way I see it, right? I think the reason why it is called the wake, I have never thought about this way, but, well, it makes sense. Like, wake. Somebody dies and you have a wake. Wouldn't that be the order, the instruction that you would like to give to the person you love? Like, come on, wake. Maybe that's the reason it's called the wake. Maybe you are waiting to see if that person is really dead. Even though doctors and experts have analyzed everything they have to analyze and have said that the person is dead. During this wake, during this velorio, the friends have some coffee, talk about the life of that person, and always tell jokes. It's like a rule for every velorio, right? To tell jokes. And you get some cookies and stuff. Well, normally there are places for these events. Yeah, you pay some money and they allow you to have this place, and it's a big place where you can have all the things that you need, and all of the people can fit there. But of course, that requires some payment. So what people do is sometimes they just do it in their houses. Well, this implies something that a perfect stranger wouldn't do. Why? And I'm serious about this. I'm talking to my family about this. I don't want this to happen when I die. They just close the street. Just like that. Like, this street belongs to me. It's mine. They put some car on the corner so you cannot pass. And if you're driving, well, you will have to go around that block. Yeah. And, well, this yesterday I was having a reflection about this because I was driving and I found this situation, and I was like, oh my God, why do they close the street? I was angry, right? I will have to drive around this block, and it's gonna take more time for me. And then, as a perfect stranger, I reacted. Yeah. And I did what everybody should do when they're complaining about things. I reflected on my complaint. I was like, are you serious? Are you complaining about driving one more block when you see this? I mean, it's not correct. Yeah, it's not correct. But you are comparing You're saying that it is more important not to drive 3 more blocks. And you're saying it's more important not to drive 3 blocks than losing a family member or a friend? Come on. Yeah. Then I stopped complaining. I was like, the suffering I have for driving 3 more blocks will never compare to the suffering of losing the person you love. Simple. And then I stopped complaining about it. After all, I'm a perfect stranger who thinks and reacts and tries to do what is right to do.